Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into something pretty remarkable, actually.
hmm
It's this growing wave of women in their 50s and 60s launching businesses, kind of second act careers.
Yeah, it's a really significant trend.
So if you've maybe been thinking about a career shift or, a totally new venture, this might just spark something.
Absolutely. We've looked at some really compelling information on this.
Yeah.
And the big questions are, well, what's actually driving this? Why now?
Right. And what makes these seasoned entrepreneurs so successful? What are the key elements?
Exactly.
So our chat today is based on material exploring just that, this rise of entrepreneurship and the impact these women are having.
hmm
Our goal, really, for you listening, is to pull out those key insights, so understand why this demographic is making such a big splash in business.
So let's dig in.
Okay, let's unpack it. Where do we start? What are the fundamental reasons, the drivers behind this whole movement? Why are so many women hitting 50, 60 and thinking, okay, time to start a business?
Well, there seem to be a few big factors weaving together. First off, just plain increased life expectancy. People are living longer. And crucially, they're healthier for longer. So there's this desire, often, for continued engagement, for personal fulfillment way past the traditional retirement marker.
That makes sense. It's not just about filling time.
No, it seems deeper than that. Like, there are more chapters to write, more potential still there.
Right.
And that connects to another key thing. It often looks like a blend of necessity and opportunity.
How so?
Well, for some, maybe after economic pumps, it's partly about shoring up financial security. But for loads of others, it's about finally pursuing those long-held passions.
Ah, the ideas that have been simmering for years.
Exactly. While they were maybe focused on other careers or raising families, those ideas were still there. Now's the chance.
And the 2008 economic downturn seems to pop up as a kind of catalyst in some of the materials.
Yeah, that's really interesting for quite a few people, especially if they faced job loss or,
Right.
big career shifts back then.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of forced a reevaluation. The old career path might have suddenly felt less secure.
So entrepreneurship looked like a better bet, or at least one they could control.
Kinda, yeah. It emerged as this, well, empowering alternative, a chance to take the reins themselves on their own terms.
Okay, so challenge leading to new paths. Now, this idea of experience as a superpower that comes through strongly, what does that actually mean? It's not like you hit 50 and suddenly gain business magic, right?
No, not quite magic.
Um,
But think about it. Decades in the workforce, decades navigating life.
Okay.
You build up this incredible toolkit, problem solving, communication, leadership, just understanding people. These skills are honed over years.
Right. Things younger entrepreneurs might still be figuring out.
Precisely. And those skills are directly transferable to running a business. Think about someone like, say, Martha Stewart launching her media empire in her 50s.
Oh.
Her earlier catering business, that meticulous planning, understanding that high-end market that probably fed directly into the bigger venture.
Ah, I see. Or Vera Wang, entering fashion design at 40.
Exactly.
Mm.
Her years as a Vogue editor gave her invaluable insider knowledge. That wasn't starting from scratch, it was leveraging deep experience.
So it's about recognizing the value in your own journey up to that point. That's powerful. Okay, so we get the why, the drivers, the value of experience. Let's talk numbers, the wow factor. The data seems pretty striking.
Oh, it really is the fastest growing group of new business owners, women in their 50s and 60s.
Faster than millennials and Gen Z.
Faster.
Mhm.
Which, kind of cuts against the usual narrative, doesn't it?
It really does. You pictured the young tech founder, maybe, but this flips that script. That's genuinely surprising.
And here's another statistic that really jumps out. Businesses started by older entrepreneurs, they tend to have significantly higher survival rates.
Higher survival rates. Why is that?
Well, it often links back to that very experience we talked about. Better problem-solving skills, maybe a more grounded understanding of financial management.
Like budgeting, cash flow,
Yeah.
stuff you learn over time. Yeah.
Exactly, through personal life, through previous jobs. It's just a more, perhaps, seasoned approach to the financial realities. It's really encouraging data for anyone in that age group thinking about starting something.
That is encouraging. So starting more businesses and those businesses are more likely to last. Wow. And the sources also mentioned something about identifying market gaps. How does experience help there?
That's about perspective, isn't it? Having lived through more, experienced different life stages, maybe having wider networks.
Yeah.
Women in this demographic often have this distinct radar for unmet needs. Things younger entrepreneurs, maybe focused elsewhere, might just miss.
Like seeing a need in their own community or based on their own life?
Precisely. Spotting something that they know from experience people actually want or need
Mm-hmm.
and turning that into a business.
That makes perfect sense. Acting on genuine personal understanding. Okay, so for someone listening, maybe feeling a bit inspired now,
Hmm.
what are the key success factors, the actionable stuff?
Right, so pulling from the materials, a few key themes really stand out. First, leveraging your network. Hugely important.
Your existing connections?
Yeah, decades of connections. Former colleagues, friends, community contacts. These relationships can be gold dust for finding mentors, partners, even your first customers.
So pause and think about who you actually know.
Definitely. Don't underestimate that web of relationships built over a lifetime.
Okay, what else? What's another key ingredient for success here?
Building on that, it seems crucial that these ventures often align really strongly with personal passions.
Ah, doing something you actually care about.
Yes, when the business connects with your deep interests, your values, it provides that grit, that resilience you absolutely need.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, starting a business is tough.
For sure. So the advice is ask yourself, what are you really passionate about? What could you pour your energy into long term?
Exactly. It has to be more than just a paycheck,
Well,
especially maybe at this stage.
makes sense. Now, what about technology? That feels like it could be a hurdle for some folks, right? If you didn't grow up totally digital.
That's a fair point,
Yeah.
and it does come up. There can be some tech hesitancy,
Right.
but the key message is embrace technology as an enabler. It's not about needing to become a coding genius overnight.
Okay.
It's about figuring out how tech can help your specific business. Streamlining things, reaching customers online, managing finances. View it as a tool to help your passion project succeed.
Not as this big scary barrier. Focus on what you actually need it for.
Precisely. Which leads neatly into the next point, continuous learning.
Ah, gotta keep up.
You do. The business world changes fast. So being willing to update skills, maybe take an online course, attend workshops, or just stay curious about your industry, that's vital.
So maybe thinking, where could I upskill a bit to help my idea?
Good question to ask yourself. And finally, a really practical one. Sound financial planning.
Can't forget the money side.
Absolutely not. You need a solid financial fitting. For the business itself, understanding startup costs, managing cash flow meticulously, but also for your personal needs while you're getting started.
Right. Need to cover your own bills, too.
It's about being realistic, informed, and planned about the finances from day one.
These are all super valuable points, really actionable. Now, the sources also hinted at some, let's say, outside-the-box ideas, extra food for thought.
Yeah, a couple of interesting angles. One is about the power of your own story.
Your personal journey.
Exactly. Your life experiences, successes, even the challenges, that's unique to you. And it can be a really powerful part of your brand. It builds connection.
So, thinking about your narrative, what makes your perspective unique?
How can you weave that story into what you're offering?
Yeah.
Authenticity really resonates.
It really does. Okay, and the other idea was about partnerships, maybe even with someone younger.
Yes, this can be a really smart strategy. Teaming up, maybe with a younger co-founder.
How does that help?
Well, think complementary skills. The younger partner might bring fresh digital marketing know-how, new tech insights.
Right.
Well, the more experienced partner brings that deep industry knowledge, the business savvy, the established network. It can be a fantastic blend.
Bridging generations, leveraging different strengths. Interesting. So, we've covered a lot of ground here. If you had to boil it down, what's the single key takeaway for someone listening today?
I think the core message, and it's genuinely exciting, is that entrepreneurship really has no age limit. None.
Yeah.
For women in their 50s and 60s, this isn't an endpoint. It can actually be a golden opportunity, a time to finally launch those dreams, make a real impact.
Using all that wisdom they've gathered.
Exactly. Drawing on that rich tapestry of experience.
It really reframes those years, doesn't it? Not as winding down, but as potentially launching something amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, on that really inspiring note, here's a final thought for everyone listening to maybe mull over. Now that you've heard how experience can be this incredible launch pad, what dormant passion, what hard-earned insight do you have that could maybe become your own exciting new chapter?
Good question.
It really is all about embracing those new beginnings, isn't it?